Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of WordPress and Coffee. On today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about some of the problems you might run into, and I'm going to give an example of a problem that I ran into as a web developer, where I had I created a WordPress site for a client, and I picked out a theme. I made a few modifications to that theme, and now it's been years down the road, and I'm not sure exactly what I changed on it, and the theme needs to be updated. It has an update pending on it, but if I did that update, then what would happen would the new update would overwrite any of the changes that I made in the CSS files, and that would be a problem. Basically the site would revert to the default stuff or whatever comes with the themes, and all the changes that I'd made would not carry over. They would be overwritten, and that's a problem. So, and this could happen if you inherit a WordPress site from a client where somebody else has built the site, and you're getting it and you're hosting it, and or something like that. This could be a problem too, because you don't know if you update. A lot of people, you see the pending updates, and you just say, okay, let's update all this stuff. Well, on themes, if you update it and any changes were made, that could be a problem, like I've stated. So if you do inherit a WordPress site, you definitely want to make sure that you have a backup before you do any updates or anything like that, because you don't know what's going to blow up. It's just one of them things. This is what happened with me. I mean, I built this site myself, and I did this. I just didn't really realize or think about it when I really first started with WordPress. I'm still new with WordPress, but this is a few years ago when client wanted a blog site. I did it real quick. I chose WordPress. I set it up. It was no big deal. I made the site. I gave it to her. She's been completely happy, and she loves the website. So client's happy. I'm happy. It all works out. But now I'm making some changes on the site, and I noticed, I made a cardinal mistake when I first started it. So I'm going to try to fix the issue, and I'm going to go over exactly how I'm going to do that. So what I did was, let's head over to our browser here. This is the website that I've been working on. And if you go here into the dashboard, you can see that. Let's get in the dashboard here. You can see I have updates, and one of the updates on it is a theme that I used, which is this leather diary theme. It needs to be updated, but I can't update it because I know I made some changes to it. So I'm kind of screwed. If I did the update, it would just blow the site up. So what I have done is I have created a development site, and this is a complete new install of WordPress. I created a subdomain name, dev.tjoneswrites.com. Anyway, I created a development website. And now this site is a completely new install. I mean, there's a new database and everything. So what I'm going to do is, on my original site, in the actual live site, I have added a plugin, and it is for backing up. It's a backup plugin. And the name of the plugin is Updraft Plus. I just simply went into Add New Plugins, and I typed in backup. Anyway, I typed in backup, and it came up with all this, and one of the first ones was Updraft Plus. I looked at it, I scrolled down here and looked at, oh, this has over 1 million active installs. This is obviously a pretty good one, so I'll just try this one. I've never used this before. Usually how I do my backups is my backups are done through cPanel, but that's okay, this works too. This will do automated backups and everything, and I can actually back up to other like services like Dropbox, Google Drive, and so forth. If you just click on settings here and you go down to Updraft plus backups, this is where I did my backups. If you go into settings here, you can see you can set up schedules for the files backup. You just set these settings. I would say for files, usually files aren't changed that much. I would probably, on a typical WordPress site that it doesn't have a lot of updates all the time, I would just do weekly on the files, and on the database I would do this more daily. It's a smaller file. This would be the files is going to be a huge or not huge, but a larger file that you would download, and the database is going to be pretty small usually, unless it's a huge WordPress site. But anyway, on this one I would just do like daily, and I would keep a few more than 2 copies, like iterations of it. I would change that to a higher number, maybe 7 to 14 or so on the database. The files, you could do 2 or 3, just whatever you want to do. It depends on the WordPress site and how big the files are going to be and how much space you're going to be using, Now, you can choose different services. They have Amazon, they have Dropbox, and so forth and so on. And in this instance, we're not doing any of that. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just doing a manual backup, which I've already done. If I click on existing backups, I went ahead and did this backup. So it's backed up to as the site is right now. And I could simply click restore, and it's going to restore it. Do that right now if I wanted to. I haven't made any changes, so we're good. So what I did was I have created this new development site, and this is a fresh install. It's really generic. I mean, this is just fresh install. And if I go into the dashboard here, the only thing I've done in this on this site is I downloaded the plugin, the exact same plugin, and that's the backup plugin. Here, as you can see, it is Updraft Plus. So I downloaded that, and then if I go into my settings to Updraft Plus backups, you can see what I'm going to do is I am going to upload, which I have uploaded my files from my folder into here. So when I click this, it should restore it to the way my original site completely looks. Hopefully that will work. I've never done this before. This is all organic. I'm just, this is what this live stream is all about, is I'm just trying things live, so you can see any mistakes or, screw something up, blow it up, let's do it live. So anyway, back to where I was. I've gotten that all done, and now I have this all set up and ready to go. And now I'm going to simply do a restore. So this here is my live site, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the actual site, the front page, and then this is my new site. And then I've gone into the backups, and I'm going to do a restore here and just see what happens. Who knows? Let's see what happens. So I'm going to click restore, and I'm going to restore the plugins, themes, uploads, others, and the database. And here it says you can research and replace your database for migrating website to a new. Okay, so it doesn't have WordPress in the post in the database. It doesn't do relative URLs. It does absolute URLs. So you have to change them. You can either do it manually, which is what I'm going to do, or you can pay for the plugin, or pay for this plugin, and it will do it for you. Like I said, I recommend that you trying a plugin, and if you really like it and you really think it's great, even though if it works, the free version works for you, go ahead and pay for the upgrade or anything like that. So that way, you're supporting these guys that are these other companies and other plugin companies that are making these great plugins. You're supporting them. So that's what I recommend doing is just go ahead and paying for the plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do restore and see what happens. This, like I said, this is all live. I have no idea. Okay, so warnings. It says this backup set from a different site. In other words, it's seeing that the domain is different because I have devel and this is a subdomain. So it says you need the migrator add-on in order to make this work. So it's telling me I can't do this. But if I push restore, is he just going to tell me that again? No, it's going to actually try it and do it. Great, because I can manually change this stuff. Maybe. Okay, yeah, we're processing now. Okay, so we're getting things going. I went ahead and did it, and I'll show you how I'm going to try to get around this. Like I said, I would pay for the plugin if I like them, but I want to test them first. I want to make sure everything works and everything like that. As you can see, I have a restore successful. So now if I go into the settings here and I click on general, let's see what this looks like. It's wanting me to log in, and it also pointed back to the wrong URL. We are no longer at the correct URL. As you can see here, it should be devel, D-E-V. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back tjoneswright.com. Let's see if I can't get in here and see what happens. Okay, so I did that, and I am at it, and as you can see, it looks like the original site. Everything seems to be hunky-dory. And the reason why this image should be missing. If I, hang on, let me get where you guys can see this. Control 0. Okay, so if I do a inspect element here, and I look at this image, what are we looking at here? This is styles, elements, rules, computed. Let's just close out of that and then go to view page source. Okay, so if you look in here, all of my links and stuff, they are still pointing to, they're not the devel. And that was the add-on, or getting the upgrade would make this work. But there are some other things that you can do here. You can run some queries. And I did a search on Google, and I found this article here, and it's talking about 13 queries that you can run that are WordPress useful queries. So we're going to try that. What we're going to try to do is, for example, let's go into my control panel, and then I'm going to look at the database. So I'm going to go PHP myadmin, to look at the database for this new development site. As you can see, I have a bunch of databases here, and this one right here this is my live site, and this one is my development site that I just made. So if I click on that one to look at it, and then we look at WordPress post, WP post, I'm going to load that up, and this is what's in the database right now. So if I look at this books, let's just see here, I can show you what we're talking. If I click edit, in here you can see all of these is pointed to the original domain. So anything that you click on the development thing would redirect you to the original domain. So we want to change that. So let's go here and let's run a query. But what we're going to run is, let's see, use table, submit query. Okay, I've never done this before, so again, we're doing this live to see what happens. I've never had to do this, so let's see what happens. Okay, so I believe what I want to do is I want to put this on post. Okay, let's look at our deal here. Okay, so here's one. Change site home URL and home URL solution. Okay, so this WordPress stores the absolute path and the site URL and home URL in the database. So to do this, what we want to do is we want to change this. This is the options. So I'm going to simply copy this here. Dang it. What's the deal here? What's the deal here? Why can't I select all this? And we're making this so hard. Let's do a refresh here. Okay, change the site. So I want to copy all this. Come on. Did it copy all or not? I don't like this. Why is this not working? Okay, Control C, copy. Okay, and we're going to paste it in here, and this is going to be on what I'll run this on. This is going to be run let's just look at this query here. Update W options. So use tables. I'm not sure if I have to do the use table or I just do a query. I think I just do a query. Let's see what happens here. This is on the development. This is on the development website, so that's what we're going to do. So if I paste that in here, I'm going to replace this www, and this is going to be tjoneswright.com. So I'm going to copy this so it's all perfect. Go back over. And I'm going to replace and of course that put the whole damn HTTP and everything in there. So it's HTTP Then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it here. And then I'm going to add, actually I'm just going to change this from www to dev. So I'm not sure www is going to work if it put that in. Whenever I created this subdomain, it should have, but okay. So now I know that I want to change all the ones that are www tjoneswrites.com. I'm going to change them to dev.tjoneswrites.com. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to submit this query, and let's see what happens. Alright, I guess that did it. And I get no response. Console. T. Jones writes with development. So I guess that worked. So I got that working. So that was for the site home in URL. Now this one is after you have migrated your blog to localhost or to your server from another domain, you need to fix the URLs and GUI. So this is going to be post. Is this the same thing? Okay, so next we're going to run this query here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to copy that. And then I'm going to go to my here and paste it. And we're going to replace that with this right here. Let's see what happens here. And it threw that in there, so I'm going to get rid of that. And hopefully this will work. Hopefully it puts a www in there on everything on this. Who knows? Who knows? Then I'm going to paste that there. And then I'm going to change this to dev. That's our new server, or our new test server. So that looks right to me. I'm going to submit that query. And if I look at the console here, it looks like it did it. www. That looks good. So I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to do one more here. Change image path only. Okay. I'm going to replace all the URL and the content. And this is in the WP post table as well. This one should be the last one I have to do. Post media, that may be another one. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to paste that over here, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. Copy that. Get into here. This is paste that. Actually, this didn't have a dash, so I'm going to get rid of that. www. T. Jones writes. I'm going to copy this. And this one is going to be dev.tjoneswrites.com. So that looks good. Everything looks right. I'm going to run that query. And that query should have run. Alright, so everything there should be working now. Now let's go back to our site here, and we are at the DEV development site. We're not logged in, so let's do a refresh here and see what happens. I know everything should pop up right. Okay, so everything is popped up right now. So let's go ahead and go and try to log in here. Type in WP admin so I can get the administrator area. And then let me log in real quick. Never. Okay. So now, it keeps on going back to that site. And you know, I may not be able to do this for some reason without the. I was thinking I had a workaround around from buying that actual. See, it just keeps on redirecting me. Let's get you on the screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, so every time I try to go to dev.tjoneswrites.com, I go to it. As you can see, we have dev.tjoneswrites.com, but whenever I go to the wp_or-admin, when I'm trying to get to the administration area, which is this domain right here, that's the path to it. It keeps on redirecting me back to the original T. Jones Writes website. There is no DEV. This should be DEV, and I think it has something to do with the database or some reason why it's doing that. I have no idea. But if I did that, then it looks like I'm there. Okay, let's see what happens. Let me log in here real quick. Let's see. Did it work? No, it didn't. So it's still not working. It's not changing. So I am missing something somewhere. Yeah, it just keeps on redirecting me back. So I am missing something somewhere. Like I said, this is all live. This is no big deal. It's just I got to figure this out, and I will not be able to finish it out today on today's episode. So unfortunately, I kind of got stuck there. But that's okay. I'm learning WordPress. I'm trying to figure this out, and I'd rather do this live and organic, so that way you guys out there, when you're learning WordPress, you don't really get frustrated because you see all these people doing this on their YouTube channels, and man, they have no problems ever, and you have all these weird problems, and everybody has these weird problems. This is just part of web development, and you just kind of try to take it one step at a time and really try to pay attention to what you're doing. Like for instance there, if I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize that it had actually redirected me to the other site, I could be in a lot of problems because I would have done the update and it would have really been on the live site. So this is just one of them things that you learn, and sometimes you learn it the hard way. But fortunately, this time I caught it and I didn't make any mistakes, as far as doing an update on a live site when I was really trying to be on the development site. And I don't know. I know if I would have probably bought that plugin or owned that plugin, it would migrate and do everything just fine. I may try a different plugin, but I still want to try to do try to see what I can do to fix this problem. I'm just trying to learn the back end and how exactly everything works. Where is it storing them absolute URL paths in the database, because that's what the problem is. So I believe that's all I'm going to do today. I will look into this a little more, and tomorrow I will tackle it and we will conquer it. But I just want to see what I need to do to fix this, and tomorrow I will have the answer, hopefully. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do today. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do today. It's been about 30 minutes or so. So I guess tomorrow we can continue on with this problem and try to figure out it, And if you have any suggestions or questions or anything like that, leave a comment below. Again, this channel is for us learning. I mean, this is for me learning and you learning and everybody learning WordPress. So I believe that's all I'm going to do today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate everybody out there. And have a good day. We'll see you later. Bye.